What's up, Klamath Falls? This is Mike.
And what's up, Klamath Falls? This is Dave.
Hey, we got some kind of big news.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Thank you, guys. 10,000 plus views and growing still. I would say for within the first year of doing this, it's not terrible.
No, I'm proud of the numbers, and I wrote down a rough number. I'm just gonna get a solidified. So we're over 10,000 views. Thank you once again. But our subs are growing too, accordingly. And
Followers
right now, as of recording, 155. So I'm saying 160. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right now, YouTube says 10,183 views and 155. So we can get to the 160 subs now.
Yeah, let's do that. Just a few more.
But thank you.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it. I noticed that our top fan on Facebook last week was a guy named, well, we refer to him as Zoltan.
Zoltan.
Got to throw the sign. So thanks, Adam, for following along, bud. We're still waiting. We got it. Look, Ben, there's an empty seat right here waiting for you. So whenever, one of these days.
But yeah, Zoltan, Adam, and everybody that comments and contributes. Yeah, likes, subscribes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Well.
And, you got something going on over on your side there.
Yeah, that's a little. Sorry, we've had a good break here. So, anyway. But yes, just wanted to mention that, so it looks like we're getting, so if you guys have been here for a minute, we used to have I'll call it a local channel. School closings, it was like, what was it, Blue? It's like Channel 2.
Yeah, KOTI, KOBI, whatever it was.
Yeah, way back in the day. But anyway, so it looks like they're getting an update. So, Klamath Community TV television looks like it's getting some traction. So just want to mention them. We've reached out to cross-pollinate. Haven't heard back yet, but I think that would be a good thing for everybody, especially local. So
right,
yeah,
good stuff. To me,
sure.
Alrighty.
Unless you want to get yelled at by Bill, but
Bill's sitting there. I can feel her staring at the back of my head. No, I mean, some not good news that leads into some good news, I guess. So Mountain Valley Gardens, folks, the nursery down there at the end of Washburn, super nice folks. And I don't know if any of you guys know Ben or his wife or not, but I mean, they're just really good people. I've done plenty of business there long before I knew them personally. But some scumbags broke in and robbed weed eaters, and I mean, just tons of gardening equipment. And if you know, I mean, it's not like it's, first off, doesn't matter, but it's not cheap stuff. You know, it's like Steel brand weed eaters and saws, and I mean,
Husqvarna,
Husqvarna, yeah, good, pricey equipment that they use to operate their business. Well, some dirtbags ripped them off and got most, if not all, of their gear. So that sucks. By the way, keep an eye out on Marketplace and other sites. If you happen to see a bunch of lawn and garden stuff all of a sudden up for sale that matches the description, you can go to Mountain Valley Gardens Facebook page. I believe they've got the description of what was stolen there. Keep an eye out. You know, maybe report it. That's the bad news. The good news is I still stand by this community, man. We've got good folks here. And so the folks at Shaken Not Spurred and Touchdowns are teaming up, and on February 7th, they are going to have a fundraiser to raise money to help Ben and his family replace the material that was stolen. And kudos to them for that. I mean, that's awesome. And again, this community, when somebody is in need, people will always step in and help out. So that's February 7th at Touchdowns. And it's going to be from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. So mark your calendar if you get a chance. Go down there and maybe have some food or a beer and contribute, help these folks out.
Well, the February 7th is the ways off. I wouldn't be surprised if more people kind of came in together.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. Huh. Good stuff there to finish that off with, though.
For sure. And I guess the lines are getting too long at the DMV. So you can. I think it's going to lead to trouble. Anyway, so not too soon distance away, you're going to be able to go to your local Fred Meyer and
Do your DMV work.
do your DMV work. Get your eggs and your whatever, and oh yeah, no, well, just renew your license. I don't.
Grab a cashier for your driving test.
They're gonna ask you if you need some help out and/or a driver's test. I don't.
I'll have license plates and electronics for you.
I don't know. I just renewed my truck's registration, and it's not hard. You go on your phone, the DMV, and seriously,
Right.
3-4 days later, it comes in the mail. I don't see, unless you need the immediate thing from the machine. I don't know what the benefit would be.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what it is, what services this is supposed to replace, because pretty much anything you need that doesn't require a person on the other side involved directly, you can do on their internet site. Yeah, like you, I was paying my bills the other day, and my truck registration's due, so I was just another bill that went to their website and paid it, and yeah, 3 days later, a new registration tag showed in the mail. So,
And well, not only that, you get the confirmation. They give you a little
right,
authorization code. You can, screen copy that and carry that around. And it's good, I guess. I hate the DMV, but I mean, if it's more convenient, I see more trouble out of it.
I
That's just
really,
me.
yeah, I don't. I'm real curious to see what service, unless maybe for people that don't have internet at home. I don't know.
The Bidens bought all them phones. Anyway,
I don't know, man.
so coming to your local Fred Meyer, you're gonna have
Yeah.
the bottle drop and the DMV kiosk there. So
Drop off your empty. Never mind.
good luck.
Yeah. And then, this stuff, man. What the hell's wrong with some folks? Some people's kids, right? If you guys didn't hear, there was a gun scare at both Brixner and Mazama, and some threats traded back and forth. And sure enough, a student was taken into custody at Mazama with a firearm. And obviously, times have changed, and it just why? What are you going to accomplish, kid? I just don't understand school shootings and threats like that. I'm so glad I grew up in a day where if you had an issue with somebody, you just went out behind the school and knocked the crap out of each other until it was settled. And actually made two of my best friends that way. But if I'm being honest, and now it's just nothing has to be final. For crying out loud. Yeah, don't know what to say about that. Glad things were handled before it got out of hand or any worse than that. So kudos to PD, to our Leos for taking care of that before it got worse. But it's just sad that kids think that's the answer, man.
Yeah, from what I read, it was all contained in within I'll say about an hour and a half.
Right.
So that part is good, but yeah, there was something to be said to meet at the ballpark at 4 o'clock and.
Oh, I didn't hear that much of it.
No, I'm just saying. Back in the day, hey,
yeah. You just go out to the ball fields or wherever, and knock the crap out of each other and limp home and suck it up to live another day. But you lived another day. That was the key. Is you settled your problems and moved on. And I don't know why everybody thinks things have to be so permanent. Like I said, I had two really good friends that we started out. First meeting, we weren't friends, and we knocked the living crap out of each other, but we learned to respect each other down the road. That was kind of the bonding moment, So, I mean, this is way back, but still, I'm still friends with one of them. So, this was in high school. It's sad.
Hey.
All right, moving along.
Hey. So, as of recording, it sounds like California has released 17 out of 21 strike teams from the Greater LA fires, the Palisades, they call it the Eaton fires. I don't know.
Now there's a border fire too, or border fires.
Yeah. So 17 was released. So we're recording today, Friday. 17 was released yesterday, and then the other three were supposed to go home sometime today.
Awesome.
But yeah, you're under a rock if you didn't know Malibu and everything was on fire. The boo.
And yeah, I gotta give a shout out again to my brother-in-law Dan. Sorry, but it's my channel, so I'm going to. And he's home safe.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks again, Dan, for
Yeah.
doing what you do and for fighting the fires down there. And hope the rest of your team makes it home safe too. So
Well, he's also a viewer, so
he's also a viewer, absolutely.
it's a win-win.
And thank you to all the firefighters. I mean, we take it for granted, and but we'd be screwed without those guys. So kudos to our first responders that are handling all that.
And have you heard have you heard the recast bill proposal for down there?
Oh, it's got to be $1 billion plus, no? Well, it's Gavin Newsom, so it's probably like 10 billion. You know, like $1 billion for the fire, and then the rest for his cronies.
Well, I'm not even saying. Okay, so the damage alone, the houses just replacing. I'm not talking about all the weird money. They're estimating 30 bill.
I heard yesterday Adam Sandler's $80 million house burned down.
It's going to be complicated because I listen to Corolla. What up? He's got a little bit bigger podcast than we do, but anyway.
Little.
Well, you know, there's so many permits. There's like 30 permits you have to get, and you know, it's like the concrete permit, and then this permit, and then are you gonna have a pool? Do you want that pool rebuilt? Are we gonna have to? There's a permit for that, and a permit.
Well, but they don't have to worry about any of that. Because if you watch the interview with good old Gavin, he was on a bender, it looked like, and he's dancing side to side and talking about how he just talked to the governor of Hawaii and was excited to have investors lined up for said properties. So I think they're just going to relocate those folks somewhere where it's not so inconvenient and put in some high density housing, because unless you got a blue roof. I've seen.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's probably
tin hats all around. for
right.
that one.
Yeah. But I did see a house with a blue roof standing in a burned down neighborhood. So, picture of it. Anyway, it's on the internet. You gotta believe it's true, right?
Well, and just to keep, I'll just call it status quo. I don't know how they got $770 if their house is burnt down. So if you're in a hurricane.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's standard operating procedure
That's
now.
like-
I mean, if you're in a hurricane or a fire, Hawaii, California, North Carolina, it's all $700. So.
Almost put you up in a hotel for a week. Almost.
Not in the Palisades. Come on, that's a day.
2 days.
Day.
I don't know. I don't mean to make light of it, and I do feel for the people that have lost their homes outside of maybe a few. They're safe, so that's the important part, I guess. No, it sucks. I mean, and it sucks. There's still people in North Carolina living in tents, for crying out loud, from the floods 4 months ago, the hurricane that went through there. But FEMA just kicked them out because the tents weren't safe because of the bad weather coming in, the freezing ice storm. So they kicked them out of their tents because of the bad weather coming in, because it wasn't safe. Can't make that up. So our new new commander-in-chief, Mr. 47, he made a stop there today. But apparently that's going to be addressed. It's going to be fixed. He stopped in North Carolina, and then he continued on to L.A. area. And I guess Gavin was going to meet him there, and they were going to...
Well, if we're dumping on the feds right now, you might as well pull up the last one there.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. And then we can
Let's get all the government out right
jump
now.
back. So, as it stands, this is as of the 3rd of January this year, so a week ago, a little 2 weeks ago. Upper Klamath Lake had enough water to meet the 373,000 acre feet adjudicated to the water users. So all of them could have their 373,000 acre feet, which is still down about 100,000, if I remember right, about 100,000 acre feet from the original agreement. But still, that's substantial. That's great news until you continue reading that the Department of Reclamation, not KID, not our local folks, feds, Department of Reclamation, prohibit access to that stored water, and it's going to be released downstream for other purposes, and also failing to account for the Klamath Tribe's water rights too. So not only are they not giving you know what about our farmers, they're telling the tribes to take a hike too, because we got enough water for everybody. They'd rather just flush it without explanation. There's no explanation here as to why they're going to flush it. Outside of, I guess they can't just put a big middle finger there. So
It's got to be thanks to a cute little furry new fish or something. Okay.
yeah, probably a bunny rabbit fish or something unique. I don't know. Bringing the salmon back up to Klamath, right? Oh, both of them. So anyway, so yeah, there's my other Fed story. So there you go, folks. Bureau of Reclamation are the fine folks. Not like I started out when I first started my little tirade on water rights. It has nothing to do with Klamath Irrigation District, Klamath Improvement, none of that. It's a federal thing, and these poor folks locally take heat from people like me that don't know any better until we get educated on it, what's really going on. And it makes sense. The more I think about it, and talking with Gene and Ryan Cleaver and that with the irrigation district, is these guys are farmers too, so they care. They care about what's going on here, and they would like to have their water too. It's not them, and but it is the Bureau of Reclamation. Now there is some hope. I haven't been able to catch up with Gene Souza over at KID. I've been kind of laid up, but I want to reach out to him and see if there's hope with the new administration in, because when he was 45, they were working on and close to getting an agreement to have water rights fully restored or close to it. There was progress there. And an election happened, and words of Mr. Obama, elections have consequences. And so that everything, all the progress that was made towards allocating water to our farmers, that went away. So I'm hopeful that maybe they can pick up where they left off with Trump and his previous administration. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot going on. If you're watching the news, there's a lot going on. But hopefully something locally can be addressed out of that.
Well, no, the water thing is very confusing, let alone, but we covered a story, end of year, about the $3 million that was cleaned up for
$3 million cleanup money.
Lake Awana and all that. So they're worried about our water. They're just not worried about our water.
Yeah, and again, I don't know that was the reclamation department that came up with the $3 million. I think that was a state. Here's the frustrating part. Okay, the state. I don't care how you stand on the legalization of marijuana or its purposes or whatever. That's irrelevant. It's just I'm going to use it as a point. Federally, marijuana is still an illegal drug, but the state of Oregon chose no, it's okay here, and you can use it for medical purposes and now recreational purposes, and they can tell the feds back off. This is legal in our state, so leave it alone. And they do. Well, they have that same power to do that with our water, but it's not a priority to Salem. And that's kind of where the problem starts to rear its ugly head. Is we don't have people that represent Klamath County in Salem for the most part, and the ones that are there are a vast minority. and they get just walked over anyway. I can't imagine why anybody would want to be a state level conservative in Oregon. But kudos to those that are, because we need two parties for checks and balances. Anyway, there's my little rant. But yeah, it's just frustrating to know that the water's sitting there, and they're just going to flush it away. Yeah. Oh, I guess.
Hey,
I got one more
other
story.
news.
On other news, for locals, sad to report that Betty Tyrie, who was the mayor of Bonanza for like 40 years, I mean,
Yeah.
she was the mayor out there forever. Sadly, she passed away recently, and God rest your soul, Mary. Betty, knew you, and always nice to me when I lived out in the area and that. So, my condolences to the Tyree family and friends. The flip side of that, a friend, Mary, I've known you for years, Marion, but I believe it's Shufflebean, has been promoted to mayor, as you would. Not sure if that's the right way to put it, but she is now the new mayor of Bonanza. Appointed. That's the word I was after. I believe there will be an election, but it's like an interim thing. But anyway, congratulations to Mary. Super nice person. Does a lot of great stuff for the community out there. And I'm sure she'll do a great job as the mayor. So congratulations, Mary, on being the new mayor.
Well, and if you spent any little bit of time out in Bonanza, you saw Betty somewhere or another.
Oh, yeah.
She was always out, golf cart, picking up trash or just saying hi. She was a good lady. So
She was the face of Bonanza.
she was. She
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, literally. So she'll be missed. And but I feel good about her replacement. A very nice person. So I'd say pop in at the mayor city hall, or Mary has a store called Soup to Nuts out there in Bonanza, across from the Longhorn Saloon, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind if you popped in and said hi and congratulations there too. So that, sir, is about all I got for today.
I think I'm out too, but once again, thank you guys. This is this our first official just news back
No, it's our third, four.
from the new year?
Yeah,
Well, I mean we had the Christie thing, but
yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
whatever.
That was episode 3.
Thanks again.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, and we'll
Still
catch
on break for some reason, but
right? Yeah, time flies when you're having.
no, thanks guys. Appreciate like we covered at the start. Numbers going up. I do appreciate it. So
Yeah, we do, and you're going to see us out and about working on some promotional stuff. We did some a while ago for Kentucky Bourbon Boys, and now I'm working on some ball caps or something along those lines for What's Up Klamath Falls. So want to get those stocked up, and then as the weather turns nice and we're out more and more, we'll have some some swag for you. So stay tuned for that.
all right.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.